Western religions don't really have an answer for suffering and inequality. What's the Vedic perspective on why there's inequality and suffering?
It's not that the Western philosophy doesn't have that concept of suffering or inequality. Actually, the Western philosophy does admit, as you sow, so shall you reap. Nothing happens just by chance. The way you act, you become susceptible to the reactions of your action. When you act in a right way, you enjoy, you get benefits, you get facilities, and when you act in a wrong way, then you're penalized. So that is actually called the karmic reactions. As you sow, so shall you reap. How can you deny the fact that there won't be a reaction to your actions? Like, even look at the day-to-day life of a person. If a person prepares himself nicely, he gets a bright future. If a person squanders his time, wastes his opportunities, then he ends up becoming miserable. So it will be wrong to say that the Western philosophy doesn't accept the simple consideration of the reaction of karmic reactions, or they don't accept the karmic reactions. Actually, it's a matter of common sense and having the proper understanding of the subject. When a person acts in a pious way, there is a consideration of piety and sin. In every society, there is this consideration of piety and sin. So, the piety or pious activities will lead to enjoyment, and sinful activities will make one suffer. So, this topic may not have been properly discussed, but it is a fact, and the Vedic culture is giving proper understanding about it. That ultimately that leads us towards God. That is the ultimate consideration of piety. And the ultimate consideration of sin is the activities that takes us away from God. And so the ultimate consideration is, the more we go towards God, we get a life of prosperity and joy. And the more we go away from God, we become subjected to degradation and suffering.
Can I add a question?
Yeah, sure.
What about the differences of birth? Some people are born in a very favorable condition, and some people are born in very unfavorable.
Yeah, good point. Here we have to understand that the birth is not the beginning of that person's existence. He had been there in his previous life, and the way he acted in his previous life, accordingly he is becoming subjected to this life. Like, if somebody acted in a nice way, good way, pious way, then he will be awarded with some proper rewards. Like, for example, he'll get a birth in an aristocratic family, he'll be wealthy, or he'll be very learned, educated, and he'll be handsome or beautiful. On the other hand, if somebody acts in a wrong way, the reactions will be different, or rather diametrically opposed to that. Like, if someone acts in a wrong way, then he is in a poverty-stricken condition. If one is sinful, his sinful reactions will lead him to take birth in a poor family or in a miserable background, and he will be subjected to various kinds of difficulties and so forth. So, we should not think that this life is the beginning and the end. We had been here before, and the way we acted in our previous lives, accordingly we are getting the results in this life. Similarly, the way we are acting in this life will be subjected to the reactions in the next life. It's not that everything is going to be beginning in this life and ending in this life. No. Life continues. The living entity transmigrates from one body to another body. It's the soul that transmigrates. The real identity is not the body, the real identity is the soul. The body is just the external covering of the soul.